Good morning. I'm filling in for the heartthrob of our household, and this is now week 10 of our little garden. We've had a few new things happen here and there, and so hopefully I can do this week justice while the wife is out of town, but she'll be back next week, don't worry.
Per usual, we are starting with our strawberry box, which, as you can see here, now has this huge, kind of cool network of runners just flying out here and there. So the runners are these guys. They send these things out to make baby plants, and the plants root themselves, and that is a whole new plant. And so I'm gonna have to clip that, and it's actually shot out another one over here. But everywhere where you see these stems kind of shooting out is going to be a new plant. All right, and then for the cherry tomatoes, they have gotten freaking gorgeous. Like, look at all of those colors. Like a Skittle packet. So I'll be picking these off, a lot of these, during the hottest part of our day, which we heard is the best time to pick them. Apparently they seem to retain the most flavor around then. And next to them, with the San Marzanos, they are also turning color. So we have a bunch of sunrise colors here, and a few others. The biggest ones, though, haven't quite turned yet. So the ones in the beds are huge. Like, look at this. This is like the size of, what's a good way to do this? That's how big that is. That feels really nice and hefty. But the ones in our pots are definitely a lot smaller. But also ripening faster. We also set up this 3/4 inch PVC frame. As you can see here, holding up our tomato plants. They were on the verge of breaking, like or on the verge of breaking and just leaning on all their neighbors and stuff. So had to straighten them out. The calendula marigolds have definitely taken up most of this bed. The peppers still seem pretty happy though, but there is one kind of glitch. We originally bought these peppers to be sweet Italian peppers. Turns out they're not actually sweet peppers. They're spicy peppers. So we got 4 of those in this bed, and it will be only me eating these. And here is the one pepper that we were able to grow from seed in time to put into the ground. And it is actually putting out its first little pepper. So that's exciting. Bell peppers are still doing well. They haven't quite ripened yet, but they're still getting big. Getting nice and hefty. So we planted these watermelon seeds pretty recently. They actually just germinated earlier this week, like around Monday, and today is Saturday, and they already have their true leaves out, which are these kind of lobed leaves, which is really nice. There were 4 in each of these pots. We have 2 pots of watermelon. And you'll notice that there's one missing because
we had a funny little thing happen. So, if you remember from previous weeks, this is our zucchini, but now we have this huge open space where the zucchini once was. So what had happened was the zucchini, the main stem was hanging over the front of the bed, and the growth just was too heavy and it snapped clean off. So now that is a part of our compost, and we planted one watermelon on each side of this board here. They're not looking so great right now. They looked a lot better when I transplanted them, but that could just be, watermelon really isn't supposed to be transplanted, but we wanted to see if we could do it. So this is most likely transplant shock, and we'll check back on these guys in about a week and see how they're doing. Zucchinis, though, despite our significant loss from our giant zucchini plant earlier this week, they're doing pretty well. We've got still some zucchini coming up. So here's an adult one that needs to be picked off now, and then a little baby one next to it that's gonna feed us some more after. And I have another one over here coming down, and I don't know if you can see this, but over here, kind of curl around. Honey nuts continue to get steadily more and more Cheeto dusted. I keep promising that I'm going to hammock these, but I really need to make good on that promise in the next few days before these guys, disengage from the stem and just fall off. You'll probably hear Remy whining because the star of our show is clearly unhappy. Yeah, so unhappy. Oh. Okay. Well, now he's distracted. The San Marzanos in the back are still not doing great, but they still maintain their fruit, and the fruit is actually beginning to ripen. So here we have a couple tomatoes that are starting to lighten in color. And then our flower bed is doing pretty well. We have a few bald spots here and there, so we might transplant and kind of space these guys out a little more. The marigolds in the front are developing their true leaves. They're really distinctive, kind of lobed leaf. And then we have a bunch of true leaves coming up from all of our zinnias. Our zinnias are getting pretty big, so this is pretty exciting for us. I'm really hoping we can get these guys flowering before fall. So here we have our little greens experiment in definitely the wrong time of the year. The chard has done really, really well. They're apparently both heat and cold tolerant. So chard is a great one to grow in almost whatever season. We're trying a few other ones that really are meant to be grown during the cold season, and it is still consistently over 90 degrees here, sometimes over 100. And our mustard greens, not quite as happy, definitely more stressed out, and it's caused them to be more vulnerable to pests. They're also more pest active during this time, and the same is true for all of our collards. So Definitely the optimal time is during the cooler months, but yeah. What's the fun in not testing things out, huh?